Have you been trying to learn how to muscle up and you're looking for a breakthrough? My name is Andrew Aurora and I help men level up their life through calisthenics, weightlifting, and personal development. And today I want to show you how to do a muscle up, so let's jump right in. The muscle up on the surface appears to be a combination between a pull up and a straight bar dip, but in reality, the muscle up is a combination of a lat pull down, a pull up, and a straight bar dip. The muscle up is an explosive pulling exercise that requires a good base level pulling strength, so I recommend that you're able to do at least 15 pull-ups consistently and easily before attempting to do the muscle up. And once you're able to do at least roughly 15 pull-ups, then you are ready to start training for the muscle up. The first exercise in the start of the initial movement is going to be the Scapula Shrug. What the Scapula Shrug is going to do is it's going to pull your scapulas back, engage your lats, and prepare you to start that pulling motion. This is going to be the base level exercise for pretty much any pulling movement that you do, and once you start getting pretty good with the Scapula Shrugs, you may even find that your whole body starts to raise up when you lock your scapulas back, almost as if you're attempting to do a front lever raise. This is where you're going to want to get to with your Scapula Shrugs, so that way you can automatically initiate that movement that will pull you around the bar as opposed to having to swing like many people do when they start learning their muscle up. Now, there's nothing wrong with the swing when you're first starting out, but eventually you want to be able to take the swing out of the muscle up so that way you can do it strict form. And that's where our next exercise is going to come into play. The next exercise towards achieving your muscle up is going to be the straight arm push down swing. So I've watched a lot of different muscle up tutorials and a lot of them really leave this portion of the exercise out, but in reality I think that this is probably the most important part to getting your muscle up the correct way. See, when most people start learning the muscle up, they try to do it like a pull-up, straight up and down, when in reality the initial movement is going to be a straight arm push down, so that way you can get your body to go in the motion as if you're going to go around the bar. Another thing that many people will do when they're learning the muscle up is they will jump on the bar, get a nice swing first so they can get some momentum, and then explosively pull up and then get the muscle up. Now, while there is nothing wrong with doing this in the beginning, like I said earlier, eventually you want to be able to do this without having much of a swing other than to position your body a little bit in front of the bar. And of course, how you're going to do that is with the straight arm push down swing, and this is also going to help you with your high pull-ups, which is a prerequisite to muscle up. So before worrying about trying to achieve your muscle up, worry about getting the straight arm push down swing mastered first. Our next exercise on this list is going to be mastering the high pull-up. So essentially a muscle up is really just a high pull-up with a lean over the bar, so that way you can lean over and get that straight bar dip to complete the muscle up motion. If you can do 5 to 10 high pull-ups consistently, then you should have no problem doing the muscle up. Basically what you're going to do is you're going to start the movement with a straight arm push down swing, and then you're going to combine this with a pull up and aim to get right up under your chest. Sorry, I'm a little off the camera here, but up under your chest. Most of the time when you're doing a pull up, you're hitting to about right here on your chest, but what you're going to do when you do that swing is you're going to pull, swing, and then hit the bar under your chest. And eventually, if you get good enough with your high pull-ups, you can eventually bring the bar as low as your waistline. I'm not quite there yet, but you can definitely do that once you get advanced enough with your high pull-ups. And of course, if you're struggling with the high pull-ups, one thing you can do is put a resistance band around the bar, stick your feet through the resistance band, and use the resistance band to help you get a higher pull-up. This is something I did to really start building my strength for the high pull-up, and this really helped level up my high pull-up game. Once you feel pretty comfortable doing high pull-ups to at least below the chest level, then you can focus on moving on to the next step in mastering your muscle up. Now, real quick, I wanted to interrupt this video to mention my free resource, the Fast Track to Fitness 20 must-know tips when starting your fitness journey. This is 20 tips that I put together that I wish I would have known on my fitness journey to really help you build a strong foundation when starting out, so that way you can avoid a lot of the pitfalls that I fell into and really be on the fast track to getting in the best shape of your life. If you want to pick this up, you can do so by clicking the link in the description of this video. Now on to the rest of the video. The next exercise that we have on this list is the muscle up pull over. So I consider this kind of an optional exercise because you don't necessarily need it to master the muscle up, but you may find when you start doing the muscle up that on your descent from the top of the bar that you end up feeling like you don't have as much control and that it's hard to do the proper form consistently and just bang out muscle up after muscle up. And this exercise will really help you on the descent portion of the exercise. Now this is a pretty simple exercise. You put yourself into position as if you were going to do an inverted row pull-up. You pull first with your arms to raise your body up, and then you swing your legs over the bar and you spin over the bar, and then you let yourself down as if you had just done a muscle up. Now it's important to note that when you're doing this, to make sure that you get your hips high enough to where they can roll over the bar without squishing your junk, because when I started doing this exercise, I kind of, hurt myself a little bit with not getting quite high enough. So just be aware of that when you're doing the muscle up pullover. And of course, it may feel a little bit weird being upside down and spinning. It can be a little disorienting and feel like you're about to fall, but don't worry, you will get used to it. And if you practice this the right way and you make sure to have a nice and controlled motion when coming down, then this will really strengthen your muscle up and help you have a lot more control at every portion and every stage of your muscle up. And once you have this exercise down, as well as the other exercises that I mentioned prior, then you will be ready to finally do your first muscle up. So now we're finally ready for the fifth exercise on this list, and that is the muscle up. So what you're going to do here is you're going to jump on the bar, get a slight swing so that way your body is positioned in front of the bar, and then we are going to lock our scapulas back, do a straight arm push down swing and a pull up all at once, all in one seamless motion. And then we are going to pull the bar to just below our chest or even lower, and then lean at the same time, and we will then have our muscle up. Now, some things to note is that ideally your legs will be perfectly straight. However, a slight bend in your knees is fine when you're learning. You also want to make sure that you don't kip while doing the muscle up, because this is sloppy form, and you also don't want to do the chicken wing muscle up where you have one arm over the bar and the other one coming up, because this is really bad on your shoulders and you can absolutely wreck your shoulder if you aren't careful. This may happen a few times while you're learning, but definitely do not make a habit of doing the chicken wing muscle up. You also want to make sure when you come down on your muscle up that you let your arms get completely straight and you don't leave a bend in them before pulling up to the next muscle up, because again, this is just improper form. You won't injure yourself this way, but you're not getting the full range of motion on your muscle up, and it's just going to look like you're a rookie at muscle ups. Also, you don't want to do the muscle up with wide arms, because if you end up doing a muscle up where your arms are wide, then you again are going to be putting your shoulders into internal rotation, which is bad for your shoulders, and you can ultimately end up damaging your shoulders by doing this. You want to have your arms tight to the side, so that way when you come up over for the muscle up, your arms are about here. I'm not on a bar right now, so this kind of looks funny, but you see what I mean? Like, you don't want your arms here, you want your arms here when doing the muscle up. If you do this and you keep your arms tucked into your sides, then your shoulders will be fine when performing the muscle up. And then of course, once you get over the bar, it's just a straight bar dip, and then you just let yourself back down in a nice and controlled motion, let your arms get straight out again, and then explosively pull up again, do another muscle up, and keep doing this until you master it. Another thing that I forgot to mention that you might want to look out for when doing the muscle up is that sometimes when you do the muscle up, you may not get your wrists all the way over the bar at first, and this puts a lot of unnecessary stress on your wrists and can cause some discomfort and some pain. And so you definitely want to make sure that you get your wrists over the bar. This is something that I still, do on accident sometimes, but definitely work on trying not to do that, so that way you don't put excess stress on your wrists. So those are my 5 exercises to mastering your muscle up. Some honorable mentions are the jump to bar muscle up, where you get on a lower bar or you put something under you, so that way you can just jump on the bar and do a muscle up before you're really ready to do an actual muscle up. And this will really help you feel what it feels like to actually go up and over the bar and then come back down. Another exercise that you can practice is the straight leg muscle up. This is actually how I got my first muscle up. What you'll do is you will straighten your legs all the way out, and then you will pull the bar directly to your body. And this is a pretty easy way to get the muscle up at first. Obviously, this isn't perfect form, but when you're learning, you really want to build the strength for the muscle up, and this is a great way to do it. The next honorable mention exercise on this list is weighted pull-ups. So weighted pull-ups are probably my favorite exercise ever, and I do these all the time. This is a huge contributing factor to how I was able to develop my explosive pulling strength with my muscle ups, because once you start doing weighted pull-ups, your body weight starts to feel so much lighter. Your pull-up count will increase and your explosive pulling strength will increase, and this will help you a lot on your muscle up. The last honorable mention exercise on this list is front lever raises. So front lever raises are really going to help you build that strength, so that way you can do the straight arm push down swing and really help you get used to that motion. When learning the front lever raises, you can use a resistance band to help you on the front lever raise. You can also do tuck front lever raises and things like that, so that way you can really master this movement. But once you get used to doing that movement, it will be super easy to do the straight arm push down swing. That is, to me, the first real step in terms of the movement of the muscle up, so that way you can get around and over the bar without swinging. So that's my guide on how to muscle up. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, be sure to hit that subscribe button and hit that notifications bell, as I put out a video like this every single week and you never want to miss a video. And before this video comes to an end, I just wanted to mention my free resource one more time, the Fast Track to Fitness 20 must-know tips when starting your fitness journey. If you want to pick this up, you can do so by clicking the link in the description of this video. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like, leave a comment, and share this with someone who can gain some value from it. And I will see you guys next week. Peace out.